Thank you so much for joining us today. I am experimenting with my new webcam, and I was going to be crafting tonight anyway and making a card, a baby boy card. So I thought that I would give this thing a whirl really and let you guys join me in my craft room. So I'm delighted that you're able to join me today. So in just a few minutes I'm going to turn around the camera so you can see my table and I can get crafting. Today, like I said, I'm making a baby boy card, but I'm using Lawn Fawn and Mama Elephant, I think. Those are the two stamp sets. Well, I've actually got about 6 stamp sets that I have pulled out that I think I'm going to use. I kind of make it up as I go along a lot of the times. But I will do that in just a few minutes. While we're waiting, let me just share you a few other things from my craft room. As I mentioned, I have a whole load of cards to send out to people tomorrow. Yes, Sabrina, yours is in here as well. I just need to put your surname on it, I think, and we'll get them off in the post. So I did an address call a few days ago, which was really amazing. I got lots and lots of emails and I was blown away by all the lovely comments. So thank you so much, you guys. I am delighted that my little crafting sessions can bring you guys some inspiration. I'll put these down over here. And also I was just waiting for a few more. I've got some cards here that I made with the new honeybee stamp release. So let me see if I can grab a couple of them to show you. Here we go. I'm not sure if you're aware, but I'm part of the Honeybee Stamps design team. And this week there is a massive birthday bash over at the Honeybee blog. There is a huge number of products that was released this week, and I got some of them, which was really exciting. So let me share a couple of cards with you before I get crafting the baby boy card. Elizabeth, yes, the next time, yes, you can always go to my blog, Hungry Heavy Crafts, go to the contact me page and you can send me an email, you can give me your address and I'll put you on the list for the next time to make sure you get one as well. So this is one of my cards. Let me just check that it's going to focus properly. This is this Celebrate die and it has the signature font for the honey cuts, which is the dies from Honeybee Stamps. And there's also a whole load of greetings in a celebration set as well. This release, there's a huge number of bee related stamps and dies. So let me hold this up. Hopefully you can see it. There are some dies where you layer up to make backgrounds, and I've cut this hexagon die here out of some vellum and layered that up on top of some pattern paper. And we've also got the Busy Bees stamp set here, and I've added some greetings here and I've embossed that in gold, which is quite cute. Also using that same hexagon die cut for the background. This was one of those happy accidents where I thought, oh, I'll put it behind some apertures, and when I put it behind, it just looks so much like footballs. So I coloured in the front section and I did some partial stamping to make the greeting have a wonderful game. So I thought that was quite unique and fun. There's also a stamp called Blah Bunny with this little bunny here, and there's a stamp set called Blah Blah Blah, and it's full of really funny greetings and sayings, and I've added some of them together. So it says, oh crap, I forgot your birthday, I hate it when this happens. So that's one of the cards that I have made with that one. And the last one to share with you so far is this card here. Let me see if I can get it to focus. and it features the Playful Pups stamps, which were released back in February. I'm not sure if you know, but I doodled these. I designed these for Honeybee, and this release they have brought out a coordinating greeting line. So this one says, "You left paw prints," and when I pull this out here, it says, "On my heart." So that's cute. Lots of inspiration over at the Honeybee blog if you feel like you want to check that out. But let me have a little look here, and I think what we'll do is we'll turn you guys around so you can see my crafting table, and then I will get crafting really. So hold on to your seats because we're going to turn the camera around, so maybe a little blurry for a minute. Okay, hopefully you're not too nauseous after that little adventure. Do you know if the buzzwords will be sold as a bundle with the stamps? I don't believe they are. I am not quite sure, Sabrina. I don't think that they are sold together. I think they are separate, because you can use them separately. So if Melissa decides to put them together in a bundle, and I know that she has done that before with previous releases where she has put different things together. So you need to check out the Honeybee Stamps shop really to see what she has over there. I know there's a lot of buzz over there at the moment, because one of the other Honeybee guys organized a surprise blog hop for Melissa. So there is a blog hop happening with Jennifer McGuire, Nicole Spohr, Amy R, and a whole load of other people as well. So you can check that out too if you like. Elizabeth, I am so jealous that you got a puppy. I would love a puppy. I absolutely love animals, but unfortunately my daughter is really allergic to most fur. Super allergic to cats, but I do volunteer and walk doggies on my lunch break, so I do enjoy that. Right, I have got some stamp sets here and dies, and sorry if it's slightly overwhelming, but I am tasked with creating a baby boy card for someone who contacted me on Facebook, and they absolutely adore Lawn Fawn and Mama Elephant, which is great because yes, I do too. And so I wanted to include some Mama Elephant and some Lawn Fawn as well. So I've got here the Up and Away stamp set, and I'm thinking of using these balloons. To Jump for Joy, and I'm thinking of using the little hedgehog. Perhaps some of the clouds out of the unicorns and rainbows. I'm not quite sure about that. I've also got some clouds here from Yay Kites. I'll try and keep an eye on the screen so there's no glare from my light. This is it's an older stamp set from Mum Elephant, but I actually just bought it recently, and it has lots of baby words in it, like sweet new baby. So that's definitely a contender as well. This is here because I was stamping that earlier, so let's put that to the side. And for some dies, I've pulled out the Fancy Scalloped Rectangle, and I've got some of my Stitched Mountain Borders, Stitched Hillside Borders as well, and then a couple of more word sets. I'm thinking of using the New Baby, which is from the Clearly Besotted Sentimental Type stamp set. This is a great stamp set full of lots of greetings, lots in there, and it's a really nice font. I enjoy that font. And because I'm going to have New Baby, I either want to have Hello New Baby or Happy New Baby. I'm not sure which one. So this stamp set has both of these words and quite a good size. It's from Personal Impressions and it's called Big Sentiments. This is a UK company, Personal Impressions, and they've been around quite a long time. They have quite a big range, but not just stamps. And this is actually one of my most used stamp sets that's not Mama Elephant or Lawn Fawn. Also, I was looking at this Happy here, which may also be a contender. Who knows? That's pretty much the way my crafting goes. Right, so I'm going to bring my Misty over here, because I don't know about you guys, but this is pretty much how I start most of my card making adventures. I like to lay out, oops, there we go, lay out the card. I use the Lawn Fawn large stitched rectangle die to give me an idea of my card base. So this is an A2 card base. Oh, a cavoodle. Oh, Elizabeth, that would be awesome. I think that I would love to try to have a hyperallergenic dog, but my daughter, whenever she was very, very small, we used to have a cat, and she would scratch herself so much that she would actually bleed, and it was really stressful for us as her parents, as well as for her. Obviously it's not very good. So some dogs she can be absolutely fine with, some dogs not so much, and it doesn't really seem to be one particular type, so I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so here we have the scalloped rectangle as well from Lawn Fawn, and I think that this gives such a gorgeous, almost, it just looks like it's meant for a baby. It looks like the trimming of a bib or something. I have another stitched rectangle to go in the middle, so something like this, and then I want to create a little scene in the background. I've got these little houses here, which I think will go here, and my mountains behind, like this, and then my hillside border like that. This would be like the background card, and my idea, should it actually happen, is for my balloons from the Mama Elephant Up and Away stamp set to go there, and then have my cute little hedgehog hanging down off it, and I'll put the new baby one down here. My original idea was to create a shaker card, but I actually have no idea whether that's going to work or not. But before I do my stamping, let's throw these back in here for a second. I'm going to do my die cutting. So bear with me a second while I fetch my Big Shot. Okay, so hopefully you guys can still see. Please do let me know in the comments if there's something that you can't see, if you have any questions, or indeed if like the sound quality, if you've got any comments. This is my first YouTube live. For everyone else who has joined, this is my first YouTube live, so welcome, welcome, welcome. And please, yes, please give me some feedback. That would be great. Okay, so now I've got a choice. I need to figure out what paper or card I'm going to use, and I think I'm going to use some Bristol board. I'm probably going to grab some distress inks in a little bit, and Bristol card works really well with distress inks, and I can also try them with my Copics if I want to go down that route. So let me grab that too. Okay. So I'm using the Daler Rowney pack, 250 GSM. And I'm going to actually cut everything in white to start off with, and then I can colour everything in using my distress inks probably. Sometimes I cut it out of coloured cardstock. What about you guys? What do you guys do? Okay. Yes, it's so true, Elizabeth. You don't want to see them in pain, and it really did break my heart when we had a cat and we had to get rid of her. It was so sad. And it happened on my birthday, and it was just a very sad day. Okay, so with this die, there's lots of little tiny holes, and you can poke them out with a pokey tool. I seem to have lost mine at the moment, but I picked this up when I was in America. It's a Spellbinders tool. I'm not sure if you guys have it. Oops. And the idea is that you run it along like this, and the little tiny bristles poke out all the little tiny bits that are normally quite snug in there. Okay. You can also use it on the die. It helps get all those little bits out of your die. I'll not worry about it for now. I could do it later. Cardstock and ink blending for Sabrina. Yeah, me too. I don't know. I think I'm just more in control of my own destiny that way or something. I don't know. Is that crazy? Perhaps. Okay, I think I'm going to cut the frame into this. So let's line this sucker up. I'll use some Elizabeth's eating breakfast. What are you having for breakfast, Elizabeth? Tell us. And make us jealous. Ooh, there we go. I'm actually having a little bit of a pity party for myself right now because I am, in case you can't tell from my accent, I'm from Northern Ireland. And in Northern Ireland, we love to drink tea. And this week, I had to go to the doctor, and the doctor actually recommended to me that I stop drinking milk for a little while, just while we get some tests done. And I am very much not impressed by this. I love my milk in my tea. I love my tea. I've tried soy milk. I've tried almond milk, and you know what? They're not bad, but they're just not milk. So Elizabeth, you say that you're a newbie. Welcome. I hope you're prepared for the obsession that will happen. And yes, die cutting with cardstock, working out what paper to use. Well, I'm sure everyone else here can help you and give you some tips. I tend to use Nina cardstock normally if I'm using Copic markers. Yogurt and raspberries. Lovely. Well, enjoy your breakfast, my dear. What are we going to have here? Okay, let's make one of these. Just check my cutting dies on the top here. I think about there. So as I was saying about paper, I tend to use Nina Solar White. And then I also really enjoy using Ranger's Distress cardstock. I really like that. But I've only recently started using Bristol board. To be honest, my mind is like 1 minute I'm doing this, 1 minute I'm doing that. So it could be absolutely anything that I pick. Depends on my mood. So I took this scallop rectangle and cut the hillside border, and then I turned upside down the leftover piece, and I'm using that same line here to line up the little houses. So let's take this piece out. And run this through. Hey, you guys, do you like my glittery cutting mat? Isn't it lovely? At CHA this year, or Creativation as they called it, they had lots of giveaways over on the Sizzix booth, and they were actually giving away like big shots, and I didn't have my big shot at the time, so I was desperate to get one, but you had to match up. They give you a sticker and you had to match the sticker. So mine was a green one with a number on it, and then someone else would have a pink one with the matching number, and you had to find them. But of course there's so many people there, and there's a couple of days, so even if I got mine on the first day, then it's not necessary that somebody else got their number on the first day. So it's a pretty slim chance. Anyway, I thought there was a slim chance to get one, so I didn't win a big shot, but I did manage to get a glittery cutting plate, which I was very pleased with. What is the die that created the houses? You know, I don't think I did tell you that one. Very naughty of me. It's called Lawn Fawn Little Town Border. It's cute, isn't it? I got it at Christmas time. I think it's adorable. Very sweet. Actually, at Christmas, my hubby bought me a whole plethora of Lawn Fawn stuff and ordered it from a craft shop in the UK, an online craft shop, but they had a stock issue, so none of the stuff arrived on time, which meant that he really didn't have anything to give me for Christmas. So bless him, what he did was he printed out all the, you know, like a little printout of what it would look like, all my presents. And I think I got some on the morning of Christmas, but then he gave me a printout once every hour, or one every hour, something like that, and got our daughter involved, Piper, and she would run through with a piece of paper and be like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, more Lawn Fawn." So that was really sweet. And in fact, even though I didn't have my Lawn Fawn products, my Christmas presents to play with, it was really fun, so that was okay. I was happy. Okay, look, I've got my hillside border, I have a cute little town, and I have some mountains, and this is all going to sit behind my pretty frame, and this in the background, like that. Okay, so most of my die cutting is done, and I have made somewhat of a mess, but that is usually what happens when you're in the craft room and you're crafting. Right, I'm going to just move this down to the floor and hope I don't trip on it. Let's now stamp the little hedgehog and the balloons. I just love the feeling of this. So pretty. you're saying that they coordinate really well with the mountains. Are you talking about the little town? Yeah. Lawn Fawn has this whole collection and they all look so gorgeous. There's the little town and then there's the trees like this. I don't know if you can see. Take it out of the shiny packet. There's the trees and that one is called, ooh, I don't have the name on here. I think it's called Forest Border, perhaps. And it's the same curve, so it works really well. And there's one with little tulips on it. It's so sweet. Right, I need to tidy up some of these or else I'll lose them. This one time I was crafting and I was using an alphabet stamp set, and I could not find the letter L when I was finished, and I got so upset. And I did, and I looked for it, and I looked here and there and everywhere, and could I find it? No. And I did eventually find it, but it took, pretty sure it was like 2 weeks later or something that I found it. But I was so upset because it's an alphabet, right? So you need the letters, and it was an L, and my name starts with L. Not that I'd probably be actually sending a card to myself, but still, gotta take care of your supplies. Okay, so I have mounted this guy onto my Misty door, and I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. This is my go-to ink. I love this ink. It's Copic friendly, so it means that at this stage, if I don't know what my plans are, which is normally the case, then I'm prepared for pretty much every eventuality. There are other inks out there which are Copic friendly. I know Lawn Fawn has one, Simon Says Stamp has one, but I don't have them. No, I keep thinking that I'm going to buy them, and then when I do an order from Simon Says Stamp or something, I think, yes, I could buy another Copic friendly black ink, or I could use this one and spend that money to buy something else. Is that the way that your brains work as well? Because everything I do is stamp sets. Whenever I see something, I think, oh, that's a nice top. I could buy that top. But that's 2 stamp sets. I'll just buy 2 stamp sets. Pretty sure I'm crazy like that. Right, I'm going to clean off this stamp. So in case you guys are wondering, oh, Carrie, hey Carrie, you just got the mountains. You're gonna love them. They're amazing. And you know what I didn't realize until they came in the post. This shows you how much I actually looked at them. I just knew I wanted them. There's 2 sets of mountains. So there's a low set of mountains and a high set of mountains, but they've been super clever, and I guess they call it like the radius of the curve here is the same. So the snow caps all work on all of them. So you're gonna love it. It's so fun. Oh, Elizabeth, I know my daughter always wants to come in and craft. She comes in and she says, Mummy, can I do a chore in your craft room? And her favorite thing is writing the labels for my stamp sets. So every so often I'll pick one out and it's spelt phonetically and not correctly, but that makes it even cuter. So I was just about to say that this here Carrie, that is so funny. I would do that too, to be honest. Carrie says that she eats peanut butter and jelly for lunch so that she can save her lunch money for buying stamps. I think that is a very, very wise idea. This here, you guys may be familiar, there is a stamp chamois which Lawn Fawn has, and I did have, and I used it and used it and used it and used it. And I used it so much it was pretty much black. But someone else told me that you can buy an absorber, which is what this is. And it comes in a big pack, and you can get them on Amazon and stuff. And they work pretty much the same way. They're a little bit thinner than the Lawn Fawn one, but it works pretty much the same way. And I keep it in here, which is actually the home for my stamp scrubber. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. You can see that it too is well loved. So this is another stamp cleaning tool. It came like this, and I keep that out to the side now, and I pretty much just use the absorber. Every so often you need to give it a spritz with water to make sure it's moist, and I like it because this container will keep it moist but also like keep the air out so it doesn't get stinky. Nobody likes a stinky chamois. Right, where am I? I've got my hedgehog. Let's get my balloons. So Sabrina says that she wants to get balloon stamps, but then you think you can draw them instead and get a different stamp. Yeah, my mind goes through exactly the same little process. And the little cubes of ink you were saying, Elizabeth, I hear you. I really want the ones from Lawn Fawn, but when I went to place an order with Lawn Fawn a little while ago, they didn't have them in stock, and I had to place the order because it was for an upcoming collaboration. And I waited and waited, and they weren't coming in stock, so I just placed my order. Obviously, I spent the money on other things, and then the day I got my email to say your order has shipped, I also got an email to say these are now in stock. Yay! So, oh, the Lawn Fawn Jet Black is amazing. Thank you, Megan. Hi, Nina. Welcome. Ooh, what is that? Oh, it's a wee piece of paper. Take that off there. Wipe my finger now, which is covered in ink. Oh, that is good. That the Lawn Fawn Jet Black is good and refillable. Oh, I should try it. You're right. You've convinced me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend my money on it. Plus, it's Lawn Fawn, and I'm addicted to Lawn Fawn because they're so cute. I'm going to do 2 stamperoonies, so it's nice and bold. Give this a wipe down too. So Nina, you said that you've just started die cutting. Is that with a machine? Is it a hand crank machine? I recently upgraded to the Big Shot. I did have a cuttle bug. The little green one. I'll show you. Mine was the old one. That's now got a layer of dust on it. And I was working on some projects on a deadline that I had, and my cutting plate just snapped in two, and I was almost ready to cry, to be honest. I was like, oh no, I've got so much to do. I can't handle this. But we discovered that there was a shop nearby that sold Big Shots. So I simply had to upgrade. So hubby, bless him, he took me out in the car and we went on an adventure and we got me a Big Shot. Yay! Have I tried the Brothers Cut 2? No. Is that the Scan and Cut? Is that what that is? I don't have a Scan and Cut. I do have a cameo, a silhouette cameo. However, it's sitting in the corner with a cover on it. I've only recently got my what's the word? Computer, sorry, in my craft room, so it has kind of been a bit lonely, to be honest. So I'm thinking of Copic markers or else watercolors. What would you guys prefer? I will do whatever you guys would like to do. What would you like? We can have some Copic markers. We can have some watercolors. What do you think? So Elizabeth, you said that you bought a Big Shot. You don't have many choices. You're in Australia, right? I think there's in Australia. Oh, and hi Anne. Anne says watercolor. Oh, there's going to be a fight. Cynthia says Copic's watercolor. A little bit of everything coming my way. Let's see. Okay, next comment is the deciding vote. Copics I'm trying to learn. Hi Suzanne. Thanks for joining me. So Elizabeth, yes, you said that you've got Big Shot. I think there's an Australian company that does the what do you call it? Go Press and Cut, something like that. I used the Go Press and Cut machine when I was testing out the Go Press and Foil machine, and it was quite good. I liked it. Okay, I think we're going to go for Copics. Copics seem to be a popular one. Right, hedgehog. Let me grab this. Both. Yeah, you know what? I might just do both. I have got the hex chart here. I don't know if you guys are aware of it. It was designed by excuse me, mega crafter extraordinaire Sandy Allnock, and instead of having all of your colors in like a linear chart, this gives you more of a visual guide, I guess. Excuse me, I need to cough. Right, so you can very easily gather clusters of colors and pick out ones which are like a dark tone, a mid-tone and a light tone. So yes, Suzanne likes her chart. I love my chart too. Oh, Megan, you said that Memento tends to bleed out on Nina. Ooh. Okay, I'm definitely gonna try it. Hi Sandy, hiya. Right, I'm going to be colouring in my little hedgehog. So I'm definitely going to pull out E33. Where I can find it. Oh, there's 35. E33, E35. And we'll do E11, shall we? Ooh, E21. Yeah, that'll do. E21. And I'll just use those for now, to be honest, I think. Pop this over to this side. You can still see it. And I think I can work magic and zoom in a bit. Let me try that. Did that zoom in? I'm hoping it did. Oh, here we go. That's as far as it'll go, so we'll have to deal with that. What kind of camera do I use? My camera is a Logitech. It's only new. It's, let me see. It's a Logitech C920, and if you go to Amazon and you search for webcam, it comes up as the most popular one, and that's the one we bought. And that's pretty much the extent of my research. So I need to move one of the interfaces out so I can see your comments. Great. Now, Cynthia, for the hex chart, you do have to pay for it. I think it's like $3 or something, but I promise you it is worth it. Carrie about the markers being stored horizontally. I have this in a cube container, so I can actually store it horizontally. But when I have it on my desk, I'll put it up like this. Thank you, Elizabeth. Right, so I'm going to start off with my what am I going to do? I'm going to start off with my mid-tone. You know, different people do different things. Some people start light and then they go middle and then they go dark. Some people start dark and then they go all the way to light and all the way to dark. And my personal opinion is do whatever you want. And I promise you, one time I'll do it one way and then next time I'll do it the other way. So I am not going to be the one to tell you how to do it right, because I don't think there is a right way. There's recommended ways for sure, and there's ways to get better results. Thank you, Teresa. That's very kind and helpful of you to share the price for the hex chart. So any other Copic marker colorers out there? Oh, Megan, yeah, buying that one. If hubby is watching, go and buy me a Lawn Fawn stamp, please, or ink pad, please. I doubt it. I doubt you will. Okay, so for this little guy, I'm just making little tiny flicks. So the stamp lines that are already here, I'm pretty much following them, and I'm swapping in and out of my colors so that I get more of a mottled effect. And I think I might actually add a little bit darker, but before I do that, I'm going to color in his little hands, feet, and I'm going to feather this in towards his face a little. Hello, is the hex chart easy to print? Yes, it's easy to print. It will work best if you use a Copic-friendly paper. In fact, I wouldn't really recommend using it on other paper because it might not. Thank you, Craig. Craig's gonna buy me that ink pad now. Thank you. That's my hobby. Yeah, I would recommend using it on something like Nina Solar White. That would definitely work. And I don't think it'll ruin your markers, but these guys are so robust. I let my daughter use them. When we go to Starbucks, we'll bring a couple of stamps, we'll bring some cardstock, and I'll bring my Copic markers. I put them in a cotton drawstring bag, and I bring them with me, and she loves doing it. She gets such a kick out of it. Let me show you. This is some of her handiwork. Isn't it beautiful? But I actually don't mind that she uses them because she knows they're mummy's toys. She knows she has to be careful. She loves doing like a two-toned effect. She loves that. And yeah, these guys are robust. I don't think that it's going to ruin your markers. Elizabeth, Copics, I swear, once you start. I was lucky and I got a big bundle of eBay from someone that was getting rid of some. So I got about 60 markers for, I think maybe like 50 quid or something, which is really good value. Of course that meant that I couldn't actually really pick the colors, but she had a fairly good range, so I was happy with that. Elizabeth, she saw hedgehogs. So right, guys, is there anyone on from America? Somebody told me in America they don't have hedgehogs. Is this true? I really want to know if this is true. Please, someone tell me. Oh, that was in the UK. Ah, okay. And Craig will tell you that I absolutely adore raccoons, and I really want a raccoon. Yeah, I'd love a raccoon. Not true. And that's so funny. Thank you for setting the record straight. I've been telling loads of people that I heard that there's no hedgehogs in America. So, hey Snow, thank you so much for joining us. Guys, if you don't know Snow, you need to go over to Instagram and check out her account, because she makes the sweetest cards. And in fact, I'm going to show you one. Look at this. Isn't it awesome? Snow is such a sweetheart, and she sent me this card, and it's just so amazing. Love it. And Snow, you really must tell me that what paper you use, because it's so smooth. I love it. And the colouring is amazing. Awesome. Thank you, Snow. It has pride of place in my craft room on my wall. Making you blush? I don't think so. So, well, let me have a look. Carrie says, no, we don't. Although I think we're calling the critter something else. Ooh, okay. Well, there we go. We're going to have to figure that one out, aren't we? But yes, I really, really want a raccoon. And I'm sure that everyone I speak to in America are like, oh, they're pesky. They're vermin. And I don't know, we actually have a screensaver on my computer here of a raccoon going like hello, and every time I see it I just go hello back to him. And there's a company in the UK that do parties. Oh, thank you, Snow. Yes, I'd love some samples. That would be amazing. Yes, they do parties where they bring some of the animals, they rescue animals and things, and they have a raccoon. And in fact, here we go, fun fact. Thanks, Anne. Thank you for joining me. I'm sure we'll have another one soon. Fun fact is that the raccoon, which I think is called Rocket, I think it's Rocket, is the raccoon that was the inspiration for Guardians of the Galaxy. No, maybe the guy in Guardians of the Galaxy called Rocket. But anyway, I follow him on Instagram and everything. The raccoon, of course. Right, I'm going to cut this little guy out if I can find the right way around this goes. Here we go. Normally it takes me like an hour to make a card, but when I'm chatting, I think it's going to take me about 3 times as long. You got the pet a hedgehog! Oh, I would like that. Ooh. Hedgehogs as pets in America. Oh, send me a picture. Okay, what do you think? He'll be cute. Pop him there. And the balloons. Okay. Oh, Megan says they only have it in zoos. Well, there you go. I guess then they're not, maybe they're not native if they're in zoos. Right, so this is a card for a baby boy. So let's pick out some blues. They bathed him. Oh, I just love animals. Aren't they the best? B00. What else should we go for? BG01. B12. Okay, that'll work. And BG1 is very similar. BG05 maybe. BG02. BG0. B12. Oh, fine. That'll do. Right. So when I'm coloring with Copics or things where it's round, I try to figure out where my light source is going to come from. and that will help me with some shadows. I am absolutely not an expert. I've not done any Copic courses or anything. I just play, but that works for me. So I'm going to use my darkest color, and in the areas that are kind of tucked behind, that's where I'm going to see a natural shadow. So let's work on that. And this one is BG05. Lesley, what ink did you use to print your hex chart with? I used whatever ink was in my printer, which at the time I think was a Canon. So you get two versions. You get one that is blank and you get one that is coloured in. I think that is my memory. Please, someone else who has a hex chart, please confirm that I'm not making things up. But the one that is coloured in will obviously depend on your settings and things like that. Angela, thank you for giving us some information here. The USA does not have wild hedgehogs, but we do have pet hedgehogs. I want a pet hedgehog. And you don't want a raccoon, they can be very mean and they have sharp teeth. Oh, I think I still want one though. Oh dear. Okay, so I've added in my shadows, and I'm going to bring in my mid-tone. I'm going over my dark blue, and you can always go back over it again if you want to. So for anyone who is new to Copics, the thing is, hiya, hello, back at ya, Germany. Jocelyn? Is that how we pronounce your name? You'll have to write it phonetically for us. Oh, Carrie, you would be absolutely my favourite if you did do that. That would be amazing. I love raccoons. I actually have one here. Let me show you. My daughter got it in a Kinder egg, and it sits in my craft room because I love it so much. So I'll just put them down here. Right, I think I was saying that for anyone who's not familiar with Copic markers, the lighter color has got like more blending solution in it. So if you actually have a dark color here and then you add a light color on top, it will actually, the light color, where you put the light color, will start to push out the darker color. Ooh, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. So in a few minutes you'll see that the inside will be lighter. So you can use this to your advantage. Josie, yeah, you printed yours with HP. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it will work with most. And if it, I'm 99.9% confident it's not going to. Oh, hi Maria. Well, funny, you know, my name's not Hungry Heffy, my name's Lesley, so I shouldn't have assumed that was in fact your name. I've lost my train of thought now. Oh yes, I'm 99.9% sure that it's not going to affect your Copics. It certainly hasn't damaged mine. These are robust little guys. So Carrie, yeah, you didn't know that. It's actually a really good way if you want to lighten something up. And the other tip, in case you didn't know, is if you manage to get like a little bit, let's see if I can show you somewhere. It's hard whenever it's not close up. If you manage to get a little bit like outside the line like this, oh, can I zoom in? There's a little bit here outside the line. And if you use the colorless blender, which is 0, doop, take the chisel tip. No, you can talk to your phone. I do that all the time. And if you take the chisel tip and you just put it down and push, so it's like snow plowing. You're pushing up to the line, and you can do that a couple of times. And normally let it dry for a little bit, and then you can come back and do it again. So if it bleeds out, you can use the colorless blender to push it in. It works a lot better with some colors rather than others, but give it a go. Yes, if you're new to Copics, definitely get the colorless blender. That is snow plowing. Copic plowing. Yeah, that's it. That'll work. Right, here I keep changing my mind. Let's go for, okay, I'm gonna go for BG 000. Go over the top of these. I'm too busy chatting. I am Irish though. I have got the gift of the gab. Thank you, Maria, for my tutorial. Saying thank you for my tutorials. You are most welcome. I have fun making them. I wish I could make more, but I work full time and have a daughter and all the other challenges that come with being a crafter, and you want to craft all day but you can't. And oh, Maria, you're getting one of my envelopes. Yes, they're just sitting to my right here. Oh yes, I wanted to say, obviously, yes, I am in design teams, but I have got some super special announcements coming soon, but I can't tell you yet, so don't ask because I might just tell you. Okay, I'm going to end up reworking these until they're dead. Let's come back in with the white and put a little C curve on each one to be like a reflection, and we'll give that a minute just to work its magic. Put them in there. Yes, the announcement. Ooh, I don't even know when the announcement will be, but let's you can keep a secret. Maria thinks you can keep a secret. I think you probably can too, but if you like stamping, then you will enjoy my announcement. Let's leave it at that, shall we? I'm being really mean, I know. Maybe if you come back to another live video, I'll convince Craigie that we can share something. Actually, it's probably not a bad idea to share it. I'll stop talking about it because it's just being mean. Pop you over there. Oh, there we go. Right, so I've added the die to that. Let me zoom back out. Ooh, phone is complaining at me. That tool works. I thought about buying it and now it looks... Oh, are you talking about this guy? The Spellbinders one? Tool-in-One is what it's called. And in fact, it took me a while to figure this out, but you can squeeze this bit down and it has a pokey tool. And it kind of snaps in place with a ball bearing. And it's super sharp, so I keep it this way. And you also get another little bit to go on the end, which is a bit like a shovel, so you can slide things off. Well, I guess it's if you wanted to move it off your plate, or indeed... I use it for taking things off the sticky mat for, what's it called? The Silhouette Cameo. Right, guys. Let's bring this over. Kelly wants it. I want it right now. I'm always like that whenever I see something, a new crafty tool. I want it so bad. Okay. So So this is going to come down like this. What have I done with him? Here he is. And this is going to be here. So the kind of annoying thing is that this stamp set doesn't, die, doesn't cut out the strings. It does mean I can put it on some acetate, but I'm actually all out of acetate at the moment. It's another thing I need to get hubby to buy me. It's actually just sitting in our Amazon shopping cart, I think. We can pop that back in there and pop him here, and he's gonna look amazing and cute. Let me just pop this back in. Right, so what are we gonna do with the background, ladies and gentle peeps? What do you think? Shall we go for green grass, grey houses, and sort of a grey mountain? Spatula, Teresa, thank you. Yes, it is a spatula, not a shovel thing. I tried. Never mind. Right, let's see. Shall we go for colouring with distress inks, or shall we grab those watercolours that we were talking about? You guys decide. We've got Sounds Great from Sabrina. I think that's probably for the distress inks. While you guys are deciding, I'm going to do a little bit of tidying up. Oh, here, let me show you. You can see a lot better now. The way it's pushed out. The darker colour. You could go over that again. Oh, Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us. Please come back. Distress inks. Yes, distress inks probably are the easiest. Plus, I love them. Enjoy karate, even though you're not doing it. It's your son. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Right, we're going to need some green. We're going to need something for that. Something for this, and then probably blue for that. Do you watercolor with distress inks? I sometimes do. Normally not large areas like this, but if I wanted to color in a stamped image like the hedgehog or the balloons, then yes, I sometimes do. I have a very old video on my YouTube channel, so you can go and check it out, but it's not exactly the quality that you would be used to these days. But to watercolor with distress inks, it's actually a lot easier than you might think. You need to make sure you've got a water resistant ink, and then you can use an acrylic block. I tend to use a piece of packaging for watercoloring. So if I take a piece of packaging like this here, any sort of slick surface will do. Some people take a piece of card and laminate it. Thanks, Teresa. Join us again. That would be awesome. And you can just take a piece of acetate. This is a water brush. It has some water in it. Once again, you can actually just dip in a normal paintbrush on water, but you can pick up the ink like this and then paint just like that, and that's watercoloring with distress inks. Somebody had a question. Maria says, do you have a favorite candy? Oh, you would like to return the favor for beautiful card. That's amazing. I am pretty much good with any candy, Maria. I love it. I can hear a noise. I think hubby's coming. Put this aside for just now. Obviously heard me coughing because he's coming with some water. And hopefully a confirmed purchase. Get on that, yeah, definitely. Right. chocolates, yes, chocolates. And anything with nuts and things. Yeah, I love most things. That would be absolutely amazing. Elizabeth says, what do I do for a job? All right, okay, let's talk about that, shall we, while I grab some inkies. I work for a company called Regis, which is a serviced office provider, and I am the global business change analyst, which sounds very fancy, but like most people's jobs, it always sounds more glorious than it actually is. But if anybody wants to make a change within the business, change the way something works, something like that, then they have to come through me and convince me as the first step, and then I help them take it through. Josie, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you little munchkins have a lovely day. I am going to start off with some twisted citron, and I'm going to start like this. If you guys haven't tried Bristol board, Bristol paper, Bristol board for your distress inks, give it a go. It blends like butter. It's so pretty. So I'm bearing in mind that this is for a baby boy, so I don't really want the colors to be too dark so far. So I think I will do some colors at the bottom fading into white, just to give a bit more of a softer feel. I'm going to leave this one like this for now and forget about Modelon. Sorry Modelon, you've been rejected. Come back another day. What company is the paper from? Let me grab that for you. This one is from Daler Rowney, and it is a fairly typical paper used with like sketchbook people, artists and stuff. So any art store, yeah, Strathmore, as Snow says, has a really good one. You'll pretty much get it in any craft shop, I think, or I mean art shop. It will be a bit pricey. I don't have the price tag on it. I think it was probably maybe over £10, which feels like it's a lot for only 20 pieces of paper, but I don't use it all the time. I don't use it every day. But it's worth it for when I do. Right. For the houses, I'm going to go for a grey. And I think I'm going to go for pumice stone. Shall I go hey guys, shall I go grey or shall I colour them different colours? You know, like on a seafront where you get little beach houses and they're all different colours. Would that be cute? Trying to decide. While I decide, let me do the mountains. Do I prefer this one over the Strathmore? I have not tried the Strathmore, so I definitely need to try that. If you guys think that it's worth a shot, although to be fair, I probably won't try it until I run out of this one. Different colours would be fun. That's what I thought. Just want a tiny bit of brown. I don't want it to be too dull. And most of this bottom section will be covered up anyway, so I'm not really even worried about big blendy marks. I think I'm a fairly relaxed crafter. Some people panic. Things aren't working out right. My daughter can be like that. If something isn't like working out quite the way that she wants it to, she can get really quite stressed about it. Bless her. Okay. What have we got? I think that'll be cute. Let's do some inking here. And I will do some blues. I'm going to use tumble glass, which is the lightest blue, I believe. To be honest, tumble glass is probably Snow's having typos. That's okay. We forgive you. Tumble glass is probably actually another ink pad that I need to purchase. I use this one a lot. I think it's because it's the perfect sky color. Do I have a favorite color? I do. My favorite color is teal. It is by far my favorite color, teal and turquoise. I'm also partial to yellow. I like yellow. I used to have a yellow car. I loved yellow car. I called it custard. I loved it. What are we saying here? Different colors might clash with the blue balloons if you're going for pastel ones. True. I don't know. Do I want pastel? Let's look at it all together. Sometimes you don't know until you put it all together. I think it's quite pastel-y at the moment. Do you have the re-inkers? No. So my thought is I'll just buy a new ink pad. I didn't really want to be spending money on all of the re-inkers. So some of my distress inks I've had since the day that they were actually released, and I'm pretty sure that was over a decade ago because I was in Glasgow at the time, and they still work, and they still work perfectly fine. This one has most definitely been in my arsenal for near on a decade. So once again, I could buy the re-inkers, or I could buy some other stamp sets. I don't know which is better, to be honest, Tally. I have never used the re-inkers in this. The only time that I've used the re-inkers is you thought the strings were paper plane. That's so funny. Whee! The only time I've used the re-inkers is on the, what was it? Oh, the Stays On White. The Stays On White ink pad. Okay, I'm going to color these separate colors, but I'm going to try to just use my ink pad, my distress ink, sorry, to color them in. So I'll do one green here, and I want to just keep it really light colors. This guy will probably be covered. Sandy likes to use the re-inkers over buying a new ink pad. Do you re-ink them a lot? Because I don't, like I said, I've never re-inked any of my distress inks, and I use them a lot. Definitely some of them are drier nowadays than they used to be, but I still get enough ink out of them. In fact, sometimes I think that it's easier to get a blend when they're not too juicy, that they're a bit lighter in color. What do you guys think? Thank you, Maria, for joining me. Time for bed. Do you know what? It's nearly time for my bed as well. You guys can ask questions anytime you want. You just need to send me a little message. I might not be able to reply straight away because I am at work during the day, but I shall always try my bestest to get back to you whenever I can. And your card will be in the post tomorrow. Let's do this blue one here. Oops. And I'm just reusing my post-it paper. So this is post-it paper. You can get post-it paper all on Amazon or anything like that, but this one I got off eBay for about £1. It's super cheap. It came from China, I think, so as you can probably guess, it's not going to be the same quality as the actual post-it brand, but I figure I'm going to be using it and throwing it in the trash, and it does exactly what I want it to do. Will I post the finished project on Instagram? I am sure that I will, my dear. I am sure that I will. I will be sure to do that so that you can take a look. No matter what way it turns out. Hopefully I don't overwork it and then it becomes a right mess. Okay, let's get this guy on here. I think this is turning out quite sweet. Antique linen for over a year, and then mostly for no line water. Yeah, that is true. Antique linen is great for no line watercoloring. And the reinkers last 5 refills. So yeah, I guess it all boils down to what you're using them for. Hi Maria, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being my crafty friend for tonight, and hopefully one for them tonight. But it's so fun to have you guys in my craft room. I thought that you guys would be asking me a million questions about craft storage. That's the thing that normally interests me the most. I want to know, how does people store things, and what do they what do they have on their desk, you know, in their like little box of tricks. What color is the pink? Spun sugar. Oops, it's not focusing. Spun sugar. It's a really light pink. You kind of need to build up the color a little bit. Right, I've got a mountain of distress inks over here, but give me a second while I put them over on the side. Oh. Otherwise, I'll knock them with my elbow and they will tumble to the ground and all their lids will fall off, no doubt. I've heard that the distress ink is the little cubes, that they're a right pain for the lids falling off. Do you guys find that if you've got it? I'm going to zoom in again. There we go. Have you guys got the little distress inks? And if so, do you find that they tend to the lids come off a lot? I have some of the Simon Says Stamp little ones, and they're not too bad. Right, so I've spritzed this with some water. Crafting Sensei Richard. Oh, Richard, thank you for joining us. Richard is calling me Crafting Sensei because Richard came to visit with his wife Rebecca. And Rebecca and I are friends from school. And Craig was desperate to play computer games with Richard, and all Richard wanted to do was to craft with me. Sabrina's dropped her container. Yeah. For the ones that I have, let me see if I can get them. For the ones, the Simon Says Stamp ones that I have, I've put a little bit of washi tape on the corner of each one. And because it's washi tape, I can either use it like this or pull it off and just use it push it back in again. That's what I do for these guys, because I think they're probably made by the same company or something, or the same factory as the Distress Inks or something. But yeah, I don't think they've got a tight lid on them. Okay, let's see where we are. Richard, have you done any more card making? I hope so. Right. One more fingers now. What do we think? Your washi tapes now have a purpose. Yeah, washi tapes was once again one of those things that we all decided we absolutely needed. And I'm pretty sure nearly every single one of us now has a drawer or buckets full of washi tape. I too have washi tape everywhere. Okay, I think he's looking cute. I think I want to move him over a bit though, so I can put New Baby down in here, and then I'll decide. Oh, there we go, nearly spilled them all. Then I'll decide what else I want to do, but let's use my Misty for this one. Thank you, Sabrina. So I only need this one and this one. I'm going to line them up. I'm actually going to put a little bit of tape on this one here. Maybe I shall use some fresh tape. Michael's have the best washi tapes. When I was there, like even though I knew I had lots and lots of washi tape when I went to Michael's back at the start of this year, I still was tempted, even though I knew I had hundreds of them at home. Right, so New Baby. So sometimes I decide, especially for baby cards, that if I don't want it to have a dark, very dark text, I will use a sort of a dark grey, smoke grey color for the text, and that can turn out cute. But because I do have other black here in the card, I'm going to go ahead and use black. But I think I'll stamp the word happy in a blue. That's what I think. So let's line up New Baby. And get this ready. Richard, you did some shopping. Come on then, tell me what you bought. Richard has to get back to Rocket League apparently. Okay. Oh yeah, micropore tape. Yeah, I tried micropore tape. I wasn't a fan. I felt like the one when I take it off the page, it was ripping the fabric of the paper, if that makes sense. Maybe the brand of micropore tape really does matter. I'm wondering if the one that I got, the particular one that I got, was stickier or something, or maybe it is the brand over here in the UK is different from elsewhere in the world. I don't know. I wasn't keen on it. Right, let me see. So we could have Happy New Baby like this. But part of me thinks it might be, I might prefer a scripty font. Okay, yeah, Sabrina's telling us that like every micropore is different. And I think you're right. It's like every washi tape or sticky tape. They've all got different levels of sticky tape. Stickiness, should I say. Okay, should I go for Happy New Baby or Hello New Baby? What do you think? Happy or Hello? We've also got this Happy here. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this tape. Plus, I don't know whether it came in a pack of 2 or I just bought 2 of them while I was at it. So I've got plenty stocked up. Aha, we have a decision. Hello. I stick the micropore on my skin first and I have no problems with it. That's what I tend to do with my washi tape, because sometimes washi tape's actually quite sticky too. I sort of stick it on my thing and then pull it off again. Welcome. Oh yeah, there's a welcome there. I think I want a bolder one though. Also, this is for someone who, I'm making it for someone who is French, Tamara, and I wanted to make sure, well, I don't know who she's sending it to, whether she's sending it to someone who is also French or someone who is not French, someone who is English, someone who speaks another language completely different. I am not sure, but I thought Hello New Baby, Hello, even Happy, I think is pretty easily understood. Let's go for Hello. Okay, so for this one, I think I'm going to stamp it in blue and emboss it. So let's add a little anti-static powder bag. Okay, that's not going to reach my washi tip. Rich has been looking into cutting machines and pens, so the die cutting. Richard, you should have taken my Cuttlebug with you. I'll have to bring it to Alison's wedding or something and you can take it with you. Right, hello, I need a blue ink. Let's see what I've got. How's this? Do you think this would kind of match? I think that would work. We'll try that, shall we? Richard's just starting Snow, so I imagine it's probably a die cutting machine, like a Big Shot. He was over visiting and he was absolutely thrilled to play with it. Weren't you, Richard? Boop. Okay, so this is a pigment ink. It is a cheapo pigment ink from Hobbycraft, which is probably probably the closest thing to a UK Michaels, but yeah, I'm not a big fan, to be perfectly honest, but this I don't have a huge selection of pigment inks, so that works fine. Hello. And I'm going to sprinkle some embossing powder on here. So this is my clear one. And when I hit this with the heat tool, it will then go all nice and glossy and shiny. And when I do that, oh, where's my cloth? I think this needs a little more moisture. Just as I go to hit this with my heat tool for a few seconds, I am going to put you guys on mute because it's not a pleasant sound, so bear with me a second. I can figure out how to do it. Okay. Tam and Ella, thank you for joining us. And yes, the Misty is great. I know. I used to have one of the, well, I still have the Fiskars stamp press things, and I used to think that was the bee's knees. But this, yeah, definitely such a game changer. Although it is, in one way, it's a little sad because there's so many, dare I say, copycats out there nowadays. Ooh, somebody has asked a question, I think. Carrie, it takes a while to dry since it sits on top of the paper instead of being absorbed. Okay, let me just scroll back and see what that comment was. Does pigment ink take a long time to dry? Yes. That is exactly what Sabrina says. It sits on top of the paper rather than sinking in, so it is perfect for embossing. It hangs around for a little bit longer. Yes, well, you can leave it. You don't have to heat set it. You can leave it and it will actually dry. But the problem, for me anyway, is I end up smudging it if I don't heat set it. So the thing I find with pigment ink, I guess maybe before the Misty came along. Before the Misty came along, I found that if you had a solid image, the pigment ink would stamp better. You could get it on a solid image a lot easier than a dye ink. So for example, if you had something like this here, where there's a lot of solid images, a lot of solid area, the pigment would have worked a lot better for me. But now that we have amazing tools like the Misty, you can just go again and again and again. It will go in exactly the same spot, which is awesome. Okay, I poked out those little bits so that they were not in the way. I'm gonna need to wrap this up soon. I've been chatting so long. Okay, I like the white border. My original plan was to make the border blue, but I actually really like the white border. But I might make the background card in a blue color maybe. Let's see. I think it's cute. Right, let's move this out of the way. And I'm going to start laying my card together. To do that, I'm going to cut out another one of these scalloped rectangle thingamajigs. is another Lesley trick, I guess. And in fact, for this, I just use any old bog standard paper. I don't use fancy paper for this because this is going to be completely covered when all is said and done. So let's just, this is what I'm going to use as like the base to stick everything on top of. Oh, got my hair in there. The glitter plates, yes. The glitter plate is so pretty. I am enjoying that. I'm only using it as the top plate though because I don't want to get it. I don't want it to be cut. This is probably not a very appealing noise either. Come on. Oh, there's some tricky ones here. These guys do not want to come out. I'll just brush them onto the floor. Worry about them tomorrow. Oh, Stacy says she can't afford a Misty. Oh, you got the stamp perfect. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that they had to stop selling them for infringement. Oh, do you know what? Misties are so worth it. I cannot even tell you. They are so worth it. I am not affiliated with them in any way, but I think that they really do. They open up so many opportunities for getting like perfect images. I used to work in a craft shop, and so many people would give up at the first hurdle. They'll be like, oh yeah, I can do this, and then they realize that actually it takes a little bit of skill, and they couldn't handle it and they would give up. But with the Misty, you can get such beautiful results. Yeah, we love our bling. So true. Although I like at Christmas time and things, I couldn't care less if I get clothes or anything. Nah, I'm not bothered about clothes. Who cares about clothes, right? Whenever there's stamps to be bought. Ooh, nearly forgot about you. Oh. But I would definitely recommend the Misty. What about all you other guys out there? What do you guys think of the Misty? I'm a big fan. I use it a lot. I use it a lot even for lining things up. So for example, like these two pieces of paper here, they should line up perfectly. Oops. But if I put this into my Misty like this, in the corner, is sitting snug against the two layers, so I don't even have to think about it. I just push the next piece of paper snug against the next two layers, and I put this on upside down. Such a ninny. Push it back in. Phew. Just like that, and it's lined up perfectly. I do have both sizes. I bought this one, the normal one. And then I got this one because I am in the Honeybee Stamps design team, and we did a collaboration with Misty. And part of the deal was that we would each get a mini Misty, which was so kind and sweet. And at the time I thought, well, I've already got a Misty, so like I'm not that bothered. And it arrived at a time when I was making a batch of invitations for someone, and I'm telling you, it was amazing because I could set up one set of stamp sets or stamps of images in one Misty and then another set in the other Misty. And it may sound like greed, and maybe it was, but I loved it. It was great. Misty is overpriced, says Carrie. The Hampton Arts tool was nearly identical at less than half the price. Yeah. But there is a lot out there now, I think, that are very similar. And I mean very similar. Whenever I was at Creativation, nearly like the amount of similar tools, it was shocking. Really shocking. So there's a tonic one as well. Local stores don't carry the Stamp Perfect anymore. I can't even keep on top of all the words that they call them. I just can't do that. Oh, here, I forgot about the snow-capped mountains. Let's do that. Because it's so cute. But I cannot find my dies because they're underneath a pile of stuff. Here they are. Well, that's quite interesting then. The copyright legalities must have only been quite recent then, do you think? How many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll run this through twice. I've lost my pokey tool again. Stop selling the others. Interesting. Has anybody got the Misty Creative Corners? I don't have the Creative Corners. Of course I want them. That's part of being a crafter. You see something, you're like, oh, I want that. I want that. I am definitely one of those people. Oh, I want that. I want it so bad. I think I must be the easiest person to buy presents for at Christmas time because, oh yeah, you've ordered them? Great. Is your name Ella? Tam and Ella. Yeah. I must be the easiest person to buy for because all the time I say, oh, I want that. My husband, on the other hand, doesn't ever want anything. Or when he does want something, it's, ooh, I want a new TV. That's thousands of pounds or something. Sure thing, honey. Let me just trade in some stamp sets to buy you a new TV. Hi, Tommy. It's always interesting to see and to hear. Oh, I think I'm upside down. Upside down, Lesley and Nenny. To see everyone's screen names, I think that's fun. Yes, I'll review the corners if I get them. Your Shih Tzu's name is Ella. That is sweet. I love doggies. I don't know if you were here at the start. I was talking about how my daughter is allergic to most furry things, but I do walk other people's doggies on my lunch break. So I'm using here a two-way glue pen. I'm not going to bother with this guy or this guy because he'll actually be covered with the frame. So good, I don't need to worry about that. Yeah, the two-way glue pen is what I'm using. And this Santa brought me in my stocking. Let me see if I can zoom in. Can you even see it? It's kind of shining a lot. It says Marvy Jewel Picker. And it's really meant for picking up gems and jewels. It has this, you know, the end of a Kirby clip. That's what it kind of looks like, where it has, like it's been dipped in some sort of rubbery substance. But it's quite good. I enjoy that. Don't need you. You guys go over there. So we can get this guy all together. What's it gonna look like? I'm going to tape these on the back because they're starting to bug me. Let me see. Stacy says, what's the tool called? So I'm sure the video will catch up in a few minutes and you will hear, but it is called the Marvy Jewel Picker. I have this one. I also have one of these, which is, let me take this out because it's misleading. Ooh. It's a teeny weeny pencil and it's called a rhinestone pencil. And yeah, you can pick up rhinestones with it. I have put this Derwent pencil extender on it, which I bought in an art store, purely because it kept getting lost in my little pot full of tricks and I wanted to make it taller. Right, how are we looking? Do we like it? Do we like it, peoples? They're bringing back all your other orders. Great. Is your daughter allergic to Shih Tzu as their hair is different to normal dogs? I'm not sure. Do you know what? I'm not sure. I know my mum's dog is part Shih Tzu and definitely has a softer coat, I guess you would call it. But I am actually not 100% sure. Okay guys, I need your help. I'm thinking I might make it into a shaker, but I don't know if that's going to ruin everything. Maybe I should just raise this panel up. Would that just be fun? Thoughts please, input please. Shaker, no shaker. The only challenge with the shaker, I guess, is that the sequins and things will lie down here and cover up my stamping, so maybe that's a bad idea. I'm gonna grab some blue paper while you guys think about that. Right, yeah, I think foam. Raise it, got it. Okay, I brought over two colors. I don't think this is going to work for me today, even though I very rarely say no to Lawn Fawn. I think this might work. So what do you think if we mounted it? Do you think it's still too dark? Maybe just better in white. Let's see. Now you know why I only do one video a week, because I change my mind 10 times over. Okay, well, I don't know whether we're going to raise that up or whether we're going to put it on blue or put it on to white. But either way, let's put some foam on here. So you guys may have seen in my latest video, does it match the embossing? Let's have a look. This is where the camera doesn't actually match the real life, but I think it's pretty close. It's hard to tell because you can see the green underneath the embossing a little bit. Oh, do you know what? I'll cut a card blank and we'll put it in there, and we'll see. What about light grey? Oh, that's a good idea. We'll try that too once we get this stuck down. So on my last video, I had a order from a Fix It Crafts, and I got some foam tape. There's this one, and then there's this one, which is skinnier, and I think I'm going to go for the skinnier. The blue does look nice. I'm going for the skinny one because I don't want to cover up the little dots, and it's actually a very thin foam. It's only, oh, I don't know whether it's 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters. It's quite thin. Well, there's my magnet, cheeky. It's quite thin, but it's good. I like that you can tear it with your fingers. We like blue. Blue looks good in the balloons. No shaker, it'll take away from your coloring. Okay, it has been decided. I agree. What a great team we are. What scissors do you guys use? I have these guys. These are Fisker's Dyma Edge, and these babies have been in my stash nearly a decade, if not more. And you might not be able to see if I do this. Can you see a rainbow? Can you see it? Pretty, pretty. That's part of the reason why I use them. Because they're pretty. And they are great. I have never had any problem with them. But because the, oh yeah, yeah. Tammy has so many. I have so many too. Yeah. And I keep thinking, oh, I need that one. I need that one. I also have these. These guys, Tim Holtz ones, and I do enjoy them. I like that they are non-stick. So sometimes really sticky adhesive can be a beast. It can really gum up your scissors and things. But I then take like an antiseptic swab and clean them with that. All you nurses out there will know what I'm talking about. Okay, so when I'm sticking together layers even, and I'm using two shapes which are identical, like the scalloped here, and I will push it down to the corner. Bada boom. Oh, there's a sneaky little guy in there. She might. I think it looks sweet. How are they? These guys, I love them. I mean, I guess if I didn't, I wouldn't be using them still. The other guys, these ones are quite good. They may be good for you, Tammy, with arthritis because they've got a soft grip. But I think, I don't know, you just have to keep trying and hoping that you find ones that work. I think any kind of scissors, if you've got arthritis, can be hard, can be tricky. Sometimes you get those little pinchy ones. Have you seen, ooh, let me see if I can find it. Have you guys seen this? This is called the Twiggy, and it looks like a pen. You pull the lid like this, and then there's a little slide guy here, and it opens up, and you just use your thumb. So something like this, depending on where your sore points are in your hand, that might work better for you, and you can just slide this little section back and put it away again. When I'm at craft shows and things, I attach it to a lanyard so that it's always near me, because scissors are the one thing that I always reach for and can never find amidst everything else. But they're quite good. Yeah, they're really flexible. It's crazy flexible. Uh-oh, I've lost my strings. Where have you gone to? There. Right, let's actually stick you together. I need some proper tape. You guys find this, that you actually have washi tape and sticky tape and foam tape and micropore tape, but then whenever you actually need some sellotape, you can never find it. I could just use a piece of washi tape or something, I suppose, but I've got something here. Yeah, the Twiggy scissors I really enjoyed. I don't know whether I enjoy them enough that I would replace my Fisker's Diamond Edge, these ones, but I think that's also nostalgia talking, to be honest. Hi Stacy, I did colour my images with Copic markers. We were talking about whether we should do it in watercolour or Copics, and in the end we decided it's Copic markers. And we're going to add this onto here. I think we need some foam dots, don't you? To raise up my little guy. Now, I can't believe that I've actually been on here for 2 hours, and when I originally turned on the stream, I said, yeah, I do for 2 hours, and then I'll never be that long. So I'm not sure if this actually cuts off at 2 hours, because I specified 2 hours. So if there's a sudden end, I'm sorry about that, but hopefully it won't. Maybe it just created an event. So I use my Copic Chow markers, Stacy, and yeah, I have the Copic Chows, and we were talking about the hex chart as well, if you're familiar. Right. Okay, we're past 2 hours, and I think we're still live, so happy days. I think we might need a little wink of Stella on here. Where are you, Stella? Where are you, Stella? There you are. Stella hides sometimes. So I need to add a little bit of glitter to the balloons. Yes, Tommy, it is for a baby. Oh, obviously it is, because it says hello baby. Copics are, yeah, they're expensive. Although there is, there's quite a lot of alternatives out there these days, like cheaper ones. Do you guys have, you maybe don't, there is a shop called Tiger, and they sell their own brand of alcohol markers, and I noticed that Nuvo, do you guys know Nuvo? N-U-V-O. It's made by Tonic, which is the same people who make these for Tim. Tonic now have have a range of alcohol markers as well. Yeah, Tammy, I am definitely with you there. Wink of Stella all the way. I bought the what do you call it? The Spectrum Noir sparkle ones, and I used it on a card. It was an Easter card with some Gerda Steiner stamps on it, and I did some Distress Ink watercoloring, and it was all pretty, and I was so happy with it. Actually, I might have that left over. It was one of these guys. So if you go through my video on YouTube, you'll see you'll see this little guy. And I went over the top of the Easter eggs using the Spectrum Noir ones, and it, like, everything just bled out, and it was like it was too saturated, and I lost all the details. I was sad. Never mind. Never mind. Oh, I think I made this card far too big. Never mind. Apologies for my phone having a hissy fit. Thank you for my cute bunny comment. It's one of the Gerda Steiner ones. A sweet one. Right, let's see what we think of blue. I like the Wink of Stella, although I have exhausted mine. I had to unscrew it and is it here, and pull off the black bit and add some water with a like an eyedropper or a pipette thing to try and get some more glitter out of it. But I mean, you can do that. I don't know whether it's water inside or an alcohol thing, but it works fine. I can get more life out of it that way, but that's definitely something I need to purchase again. All these purchases. Okay. I love it. Do you love it? 3 clear ones going to say that. I only have the clear one. I think you can get them in silver and gold and everything. But no, I only have the clear one. I'm definitely a winner. Cynthia loves it. I'm going to use some really strong sticky tape now to stick this guy down. What's sparkle spray, Tammy? What's that? Thanks, guys. Well, you guys were part of it. You guys have to take some of the credit too, because without you, I would have messed it up for sure. Hey, Shona. I haven't seen your name pop up before. Sorry if I've been ignoring you. Been distracted by crafting. Being a bit messy with this, but at this stage of the game it doesn't really matter. What's sparkle spray, Tammy? I'm dying to find out. Oh, shimmer spray by Tsukaneko. Shimmer spray. Oh, is it like oh, there was so many different shimmer spray. There was one called Shimmers, and like a Mr. Huey with the sparkles, or Cosmic Shimmer. Ooh, that's interesting. Don't give me more things I need to buy. This is just going to be one big enabling video sesh. Right, my head might get in the way while I line this up. And if I get it wrong, I'm in trouble because this is super sticky. have to go for it. Super sticky tape. Oh, we need some glaze pen for sure. Darken up that eye. And I think a few little Tamanella, does the shimmer spray match the Wink of Stella glitter colour? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to add some Nouveau Crystal drops. So these pretty much turn out like an enamel dot. You know the way you can use what's it called? Glossy accents. You can use glossy accents to create little bubbles of almost like glass, like little clear bubbles. Well, this is the Nouveau Crystal drops, and it creates little bubbles that look like enamel dots. Oh, sorry, my exposure is going a bit funny. And I've got a trick for you here. You might not know it, or you might know it. Whenever you add a product like this, like the Nouveau drops, or the glossy accents, or even, what are they called? Stickles. When you do a little drop like this, sometimes it gets a little like a little pointy bit on it. But if you tap boop, 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 underneath, it rounds off the top. Your glossy accents tube is clogged. Mine too. My glossy accents is clogged. I've had it quite a long time, so I think it's probably lost its nice smooth consistency, to be honest. And surprise, surprise, another thing. Who have we got? Glow in the dark? Are you kidding me, Shona? I didn't even know that was a thing. That's a thing? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Can you write with it? Can you write like a name with it? I need this. Oh, stop. I'm going to spend so much money. Any tips on how to use the glaze pen? I just got them and they flow really heavy. Oh, and you ruined a couple of cards. That's rubbish. I guess it depends. I mean, what you're using them for. I have the white and the black. The black I use for noses and eyes on my critters, and the white I do little white marks on the critters. I think I've got a pink one somewhere. No idea. I thought I had a pink one. I don't really use them for anything other than that, or for making little dots. Oh, Shona, you need to share with us a card or something that you have made using the glow in the dark ones. That is so cool. I wonder if you could just put them like right straight on the wall, like draw stars on the wall. How fun would that be? Yeah, definitely need to buy some Nouveau drops. I need one more. Right, I may be at the risk of adding too much, but do you think it needs some sequins? You may have noticed about the glaze pen though that I did wipe it on my hand before I used it. Then the tip, it's hard to explain. So it almost has a plasticky substance or side to it whenever you use it, and I think that's probably why it has that glazy finish. So it tends to cover the nib or the tip, and you have to dislodge that first of all in order to get it flowing. If you don't, then it'll come off, it'll restrict the flow, and then it'll come off and you don't want it to. So I normally wipe it against a wipey or a tissue, but my craft desk out of view is such a mess now that I can't find my tissues. But okay, I think I'm going to call that done, maybe. What do you think? I was contemplating adding a few sequins. Let me just get them, just so we can see them, okay? Ugh. The great thing about sequins is that you can set them on, and if they don't look right, you don't have to stick them on. So I was thinking of these little blue ones. Oh gosh. Or the white ones. Oh, Snow, I hope you feel better, honey. Go and lie down, get some rest. And I'm sure the video will be up tomorrow. Feel better soon. Right, guys, should we go for a couple of sequins? Little tiny ones. I've just noticed, however, this back panel has migrated a little. Try to move it over in a second. Right, let's add these on. And I'm going to use some Studio Matte for this. Oops. Oh, this guy does not want to play ball today. I'm very conscious that the Nouveau drops are still wet and a potential trap for me. Okay, I'm actually going to leave this until my Nouveau drops is dry. Guys, I would like to thank you very much for joining me for making this card. Can you see the shimmer? Thank you for spending your Friday evenings or Saturday mornings, whatever it may be, with me and joining me in my craft room. I'm going to say goodnight because it is now midnight with me. I can't believe Tommy says I'm playing with fire, and I think you're right. I am going to head to bed, I think. I have had an amazing session with you guys, and I hope that you will join me again another time, probably roughly the same time by the time I finish work and put the little one to bed, around about 9ish UK time. Thanks again. I will be sure to pop this onto Instagram. Please go on and tag yourself, because absolutely you guys have been part of this process as well. And I have a video to share with you guys on Sunday, and it actually is another baby boy card, but not this one. Thanks again, and see you next time, and until then, happy crafting.